What is up guys, Wraec here, and as you can already see, Primal Lord Plaguebearer is now live in game. You can find him under Rustport in the sewers. It just started, 0 damage on the boss yet, and of course I am ready. I want to bring you guys some good teams that you can use. Well, presumably good. We have very limited information, mostly from the Wraec servers. I prepared 4 teams actually for you guys, and there is a nice graphic by Chippy AFK that I will show you towards the end of the video. We'll try those teams, we'll compare them, we will see the possibilities, and hopefully by the end of this you will have a good idea of which team you can use, which heroes are important for you, and what you better want to avoid. So starting off with Plague Creeper itself, I said Plaguebearer, I don't know why. It's within your season district, as before as most of it. They recommend to do AoE damage to it, which is because of the boss mechanics we are about to see in a sec. Battle rewards are here, last for 12 days as we know, or until the boss is defeated. We can collect daily rewards there, and of course the rewards at the end based on your highest damage you dealt to it. Again, there is a leaderboard, not much happening there yet, very cool animation, and we get rewards. Winning within a certain time period as before for the Righteous Purger title and some very nice rewards, and the district ranking at the end, again for Twilight Essence, the Righteous Purger title with the nice Plague Creeper symbol next to it and a very cool oozing frame for the top 50. So, starting off with the first team, let's go into this. I already set up most of it, well, not the team itself, we'll have to do that. Let me quickly do that. And there it is. Very important thing to note, faction skills are active. You really want to activate your faction skills, and if you have it, you want to use your faction skill with 2 tiles. If you have no idea about that or how that works, make sure you watch my guide on faction skills. I posted a few hours ago actually. Very important thing to note, 40% more damage from prime carriers, so super important. Best damage dealer apparently is Lilymay. We are using Lilymay and Lenya here on the Wilder tiles, Carolina and Iron, and we have Nicola. So this is what we're going to do. Resonating spell, focused of course on our Lilymay. As you can see, it is the backmost hero. Well, it doesn't say it there. And this is of course our Lilymay. So this is what we're going to do. You will see that this guy actually splits into multiple units, and that is why we're using Iron Carolina here. That is one way to solve this issue, and we're just going to watch the first fight and see how much damage we do. Of course, a little bit difficult to set this into perspective. We have the buff now from the Wilder tile. Lilymay starting to deal damage there, and in a sec we should probably see this guy split up. There it is, first into 3, he splits up again actually. We have to defeat those guys pretty swiftly. The boss itself doesn't deal too much damage, we can see this right there. Actually Lilymay taking pretty good care of that. We have some nice things of course with Carolina and Iron in here with some magic defense shred that we can make use of. There are some other teams that I'm pretty hyped for. The question is here, how do you deal with those small units? You can deal damage to them, of course, with Iron. You see them being pulled together. Carolina then starting to deal massive damage. And you see those guys, they do have a very big amount of HP actually. So it is rather nice to have Carolina to deal with them. And that is already our first attempt. Rank 1, at least we got that. Pretty nice. Let's look at the damage numbers. And yeah, Lilymay doing the most damage here. We have Lenya in here. She is a nice damage dealer after all. But Carolina, not bad at all. Iron for the grouping, and then some heal. I didn't feel like I was really in danger here. This guy dealt a pretty nice amount of damage, but we out-healed it by quite a ton. So really didn't feel too threatening at all. Let's see if we can beat this damage with the second team, which is a bit more experimental and uses another way to deal with those units. We'll see how good it works. Okay, and team number 2, a little bit of a switch here. We now have Talene in the team. I had to switch up the Iron. Well, I didn't have to, but we wanted to have a healer in there and still get our wild effect. So we're still using Lenya. If you don't have her, you can replace her. Really for any other wilder hero. If you want to run Iron, that's alright. We'll go over some different teams and how you can switch up the heroes in a bit. That in the front is Damien. We are going to switch over our Talene to the boss with Rainier, and still I have the Rainier charms, and that actually gives our Lily May another 18% attack. I hope that this Talene can deal with the units. We'll have to see how well that works out. So let's give that a try and let's see if this team can do well, or if it performs less good or worse, as it's well, it's pretty much the same as our last team. Some haste buff, of course, from the Damien, which I hope will be nice. My fear with this team is mostly, yeah, and we can see it a little bit, I had the fear that for the biggest part our Talene would be in the wrong position, but she repositioned now, so that is pretty good. In this position she deals with them pretty well, but we have some downtime between them. So some problems here for Talene, even though she dealt with the units pretty well. But we already saw they spawn behind her, so might be a bit of a problem. Still will be interesting to see her damage there. She's also used in a Hypogean team, which we are going to go over in a second. Hypogean is fairly interesting in terms of damage. Damien not doing too well here, I have to say. His little card struggles a little bit there. Yeah, 3 billion there, which is less than last time, if I remember correctly. We see the damage there. Talene doing pretty well. Still major load there on Lily May. Lenya not doing too well at all, which brings us to the fourth team that I just want to show you because I can't use it with my set at the moment. And then we are going to go over another team that we are going to try. Okay, this team is pretty cool. It is a Hypogean team, so we're no longer using the Wilder skill, we are using Celestial Hypogean skill. This one is pretty nice. There is one thing to note though, if you don't have the second tile, then it is of course a lot worse than otherwise. The second tile has a pretty interesting effect that we can look at. This is the team setup, Rainier in the front of Talene. We have the copy of Fresto on the left, the real Fresto on the right, giving our Lily May energy. So this is the setup for that. I can show you why I can't use it and what would be interesting there. So if we go into this tree, I don't have it equipped very much. We deal true damage, we stun enemies, so we have a little bit of AoE in here and energy recovery, which is pretty cool for this fight because we have a lot of units to attack. This extra talent buff tile, this is a different skill than the main one, and what this does, it gives you a black hole effect that pulls enemies together, and if you saw this fight, pulling enemies together is kinda nice. So a pretty cool effect, a pretty interesting effect. That you might want to make use of. We are going to show that in a later video. As you can see, my reset is on cooldown. So that is one thing to note. Let's hop into the last team I want to show you guys. Okay, this time around using Odie in there. We have Lenya there. I'm personally also a bit intrigued by Parisa because Parisa has this massive AoE as well. She's listed there. Also Wilder hero, kinda cool. Other option, of course, also Brian. Parisa has a lot of AoE, hits multiple units, has some time to scale up, so she might be a replacement for Lenya. And honestly, while we are talking about it, let's just do it. Let's just do it. We activate the Wilder setup anyway. Mikola again as a healer here, Odie, and we have Lily May. Let's just use this setup and see if our Parisa can do some carrying here. I'm honestly hyped to see her damage. I don't think I have seen anything about her. And I think it's personally kind of interesting how this boss in general works. Just having the faction skill active here makes it a blast. I think for me that is honestly always interesting. Attacking bosses with the faction skills is really cool. I would have loved to see that for the normal Dream Realm bosses as well. Sadly didn't happen. Would have been quite nice. But maybe next time. Maybe next season we will see something like this. Kind of cool to see the massive AoE here from Florabelle as well. And of course, we get to use not the typical boss damage dealers, but some AoE units, which is rather nice. Parisa here in the first split didn't do too well, but she needs a little bit of time to scale up, so could be fairly interesting. And I'm intrigued to see if there's going to be a Wilder team as well, a Lightbearer team. Because we saw the Rowan tactic, you saw it in the video I made about it, so could be really cool. Parisa, what are you going to do? Not too much, at least on those big guys, not too much. 2.8 right now. Can we get to the 3 at least? It seems like the first team was really the best. The Carolina on the first team was really insane. Let's see how much Parisa did here. That would be fairly interesting to see. Parisa pretty low, even lower than Florabelle here. Odie of course did well. So from the damage dealers, definitely Lily May, absolutely insane. We saw Talene doing very well, and then Odie. I saw some limited info about Corin and Marilee. Didn't do too well in the situations I saw. I mean, they don't really have too much AoE. So really in this situation, it is Lily May all the way. So before we end this video, I have a very nice graphic to show you guys, and I want to talk about some replacement heroes that you can use. So let's hop into this graphic right now. And this graphic was made by no other than Chippy AFK, t.me/Chippy AFK. If you want to look him up, definitely recommend it. Always makes some very cool graphics. And from all our testing, we definitely saw best in slot Lily May. I can support that. That definitely fits with what we have seen. Carolina, very, very interesting as damage dealer. We tested it. Better than you might expect on regular boss. As boss damage dealer, not that nice, but with the iron combination, we know it from the AFK stage. It is insane. Talene with some issues. We saw it in the fight as well. Repositioning, a little bit of a struggle. Lenya, very, very good. For an A tier, insane. Odie as well. I think Lenya has the big advantage that we get closer to our Wilder setup with her, which is fairly nice. Utilities, we saw Fresto with a big AoE, we didn't get to use him. Iron was very nice. Top supporter, apparently Mikola. Didn't see too much in terms of stuns, so Smokey is an option. Not sure about Coco. Coco for me is more like a survivability choice, which didn't seem to be much of a struggle here. The teams that are recommended here, the first one we did use, it was really the best that we got to try. This one is fairly interesting. The middle one, I don't know. I will test it, but the thing I see, the problem I see with this one, Wilder, Hypogean / Celestial, Graveborn, that is a Mauler, and then we have a Celestial here. So we don't get to activate any faction skill at all, which is kind of a problem in my opinion. I showed you this setup. Would be pretty interesting. Of course, the resonating spell is the artifact of choice here. Yeah, I'm pretty intrigued about this boss. I think it is pretty cool. Definitely recommend the first team. I think you will have a little bit of a struggle if you don't have Lily May, because we have those two boss phases. The first phase where you have to have a little bit of single target to get the boss to split, and then we have the AoE phase where heroes like Iron and Carolina can perform well. Of course, if you send them against the main boss, well, you're going to struggle a little bit because that guy is probably going to split rather late, and you definitely want him to split to deal damage to all of the units and make use of your AoE heroes. I hope this helped you. I will experiment more, of course, in the upcoming days. As you know, first day, 3 attacks, that's it, and I want to bring you the info as fast as possible. But this is about what I found here. I hope all of you guys can deal very good damage. If you find some fancy team and want to show it to me or want me to show it in the video, I will gladly oblige and show it. And you can just send it to me on the Discord, just put it in the AFK Journey chat that we have there, and I will check it out. I read everything in there, so you don't even have to tag me, I will see it, but you can if you want. Back to the game right now. Let's check out the leaderboard. Is somebody already put me away from my throne? But it seems like, yeah, the difference is insane. Cocaina doing very well, and me not that much. Me very much, and then there is like a big gap. So very interesting boss. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you, and with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.